should never ever disengage ourselves from our right. And the basic right ni ile ambayo hatufai kuachilia, ambayo ni ya maandamano. Maandamano is in the constitution. We should never run away from it. Naomba Mheshimiwa Rais, come clean and explain to Kenyans the role of the KDF in Congo. And why will you dispatch them even before the parliament approves? That brings a lot of questions. Tuwezi sema ya kwamba yule mheshimiwa waziri alikuwa anatoa tu, anaongea tu. That is how things begin. That is how our revolution begins. That is how the government begins to sneak in things into the constitution. Unaambiwa huyu alikuwa anaongea kwa streets, but in the future inakuja inakuwa implemented. We take the example of His Excellency President Museveni. When he amended the constitution, ndiye aje abakie the long-term president. It began just like it has begun in Kenya. Mheshimiwa Rais, wacha kufanya biashara na Wakenya. Juzi tumekuwa hapa tukajadiliana mambo mengi, lakini lipo swala hatukuweza kujadiliana. Mheshimiwa Rais, hebu eleza sisi wa Kenya kiini haswa cha kupeleka jeshi letu kule Congo. Wengi wetu tunachokijua na tunajojua ndio ukweli. Biashara unayofanya Congo, uchukue jeshi nzima upeleke kule Congo kulinda biashara zako, si haki. Kuchukua battalion mzima, hizo ni billions, na zinahesabika kwenda bilioni 6 kulinda biashara ya mtu mmoja, si haki. Hiyo sio ile hustle uliokuwa ukisema ukitumia kama campaign tool yako. Naomba Mheshimiwa Rais, come clean and explain to Kenyans the role of the KDF in Congo. And why will you dispatch them even before the parliament approves? That brings a lot of questions. We are concerned because we are the taxpayers. We are deeply concerned because we might get casualties. Na unachukua mtu ambaye haezi eka siri kumweka kwa kitengo cha kuwa waziri wa defense. You go to an extent of explaining the areas our military has undergone training before they can go to the battlefield. And we do not have any justifications whatsoever. Na sisi kama wa Kenya ni sharti na ni lazima tuangazie vipengele fulani ambavyo viko katika katiba. There are things that we cannot allow anybody to take away from us. And one member of parliament of this republic, the Honorable Babu, alituambia siku moja kwamba we cannot have oppression without oppressor and the oppressed. Lakini wakati unaruhusu wewe oppression kukwepo kama the oppressor, basi hata wewe utaadhibiwa in equal measure with the oppressor. Mbona tuangaike tukidhulumiwa tena mbele tuende tudhulumiwe? Kwa hivyo anytime government inasema that we are going to increase the fees, in fact, if we are paying the tax, why should we pay the fees? We have got to be progressive. If we used not to have free primary education, today we have free primary education, then nobody should again take us back to paying school fees. What we should be angling for is free university education. Finally, Mr. Speaker, hatuwezi sema ya kwamba yule mheshimiwa waziri alikuwa anatoa tu, anaongea tu. That is how things begin. That is how our revolution begins. That is how the government begins to sneak in things into the constitution. unaambiwa huyu alikuwa anaongea kwa street, but in the future inakuja inakuwa implemented. We take the example of His Excellency President Museveni. When he amended the constitution, ndiye aje abakie the long term president. It began just like it has begun in Kenya. We should never ever disengage ourselves from our right. And the basic right ni ile ambayo hatufai kuachilia, ambayo ni ya maandamano. Maandamano is in the constitution. We should never run away from it. Mr. Speaker, because of time, let's have
wacha huyu msichana amalizie. Ongea. Haya 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for adding me the opportunity. Let me also comment on the issue of politics, political parties. The truth is, in Africa, not just Kenya, in Africa we do not have political parties. What we have in Africa are political briefcases. So wawe kuja kusema kwamba chama fulani itaisha, hiyo ni ndoto yako. What you should tell us is the leader of that party is dead. That's the only time it will die. And we have to be absolutely careful with William Samoei Ruto. He is our president. And we have got to tell him. We have got to talk with him straight. The schemes he's doing, they are not summing up to anything other than a person who is preparing to remain in power forever. That is why, ukiangalia the Honorable Wycliffe Mudavadi, what has happened to him is a political suicide. How would he accept atoke kwa siasa aingie eti anapewa cabinet nini ambayo haiko kwa constitution? Only you are given something that only recalls for amendment of the constitution ambayo haijafanywa, then you go ahead and take it. He has been taken away from the public. Honorable Wetangula, the same case. Look at what he is doing in Central. Any political man who could go forth and speak articulatively to the citizens has been brought to where? To the executive. Once you are in the executive, you are there at the mercy of the president. So when these people are out, then William Ruto, the only thing he's trying to do is to ensure that there is nobody ambaye atakuja kumcompete politically. And the worst thing is mpaka his own backyard. If you are a learned man like Murkomen, look at what has been done to Murkomen. If you are a person who is trying to do business to a tune of a turnover of one, let's say $1 billion and over, you will be an enemy to this president. He is going to ensure he brings you down. These are things as Kenyans, it is our duty. We should never run away from our solemn duty. Because if we run away today, what do you expect our children to run away from? We must leave them with something. Honorable members, let us be together. Let us get united for a purpose and for an objective. The objective that is ahead of us, let the government treat us fairly. There's nothing like fee increment. Why would you increase the fee yet you are paying tax? Hakuna mambo ya increase fee, iwe ni shilingi moja, iwe ni shilingi tatu. Thank you.